Okay, so we have a big assignment coming up, and that's going to be your analysis essay. It's going to be due on Friday, July the 9th before 11:59 p.m. It's worth 20 points to your final grade, so it's extremely important. And it should be 4 to 5 full pages in length, double spaced, plus a works cited page. By the way, when I say 4 to 5 full pages, that's exactly what I mean. 3.5, guess what? That's below the length requirement. So make sure that you hit that 4 to 5 full pages. So what you're going to be doing is this. You're going to be analyzing a text using gender criticism, which is really the overarching idea for this entire class, right? So you're going to choose any text that we've read so far this semester. And once you've chosen a text, you're going to consider questions like how were women treated in the text, how were they presented, how does the fact that the author of the text is female affect that work, how does your own gender affect your reading of that work, or what feminist issues are being presented. So are there issues with gender roles and things like this? You do not have to answer all of those questions in your essay. Those are a jumping off point. What I'd like for you to do is once you've thought about those questions, you're going to create one clear, focused argument. So maybe you're going to focus on one of those questions, or maybe those questions are going to lead you someplace else. As long as you're using gender criticism, as long as that's your lens, then really you can go any way that you like. You don't need to do any outside research, but depending on your particular topic, you may want to. If that's the case, you may use one outside source other than the text itself. But I don't want anyone using more than that because I don't want this to become a research assignment. This should be all about analysis and your ability to use gender criticism and to critically analyze a text. I have a lot of notes on structure for you. Um, for the introduction, you want to do several things in that introduction. First, you want to grab your reader's attention. Good ways to do that are, give us a really interesting quote or a really interesting idea to start with. Anything that's going to grab our attention. And then just give us a general idea, what are you going to be talking about? And give the title and the author of the piece that you're going to be working with. And then obviously you're going to also have a clear thesis statement telling us exactly what your argument is going to be for the rest of the essay. In the body of your essay, that's going to be your actual analysis. So you want to have good, organized body paragraphs that contain smooth transitions for each one. You can have as many body paragraphs as you need as long as they're logical, one topic for each one. And then to support your points, you want to use specific quotes from the text and specific details, as well as, and this is important, your own explanation of why those items support your thesis statement. So don't just give us a whole bunch of quotes and expect them to stand on their own, expect them to be self-explanatory. You have to do a little bit more work and explain those for the reader. Okay, your conclusion should bring the essay full circle. It should restate the thesis statement in an interesting and different way, and it should leave the reader with something to hang on to, a final thought, a final quote, or a final question. Now, everyone should have a works cited page for this assignment, even if you don't do outside research, because at the very least you have one text, right? And that's the text that you're analyzing. So, even if you don't do outside research, that text should be on your works cited page. And of course, if you do outside research, you'll have 2 items instead of 1. A works cited page is really important because technically if you don't have one of those, you've plagiarized, and so you want to make sure that everything is cited perfectly so we don't have to worry about those hairy kinds of things. Okay, so deadlines, we're doing this in a process sort of a way, so I'm having you turn in rough drafts on Monday, July the 5th. You're going to email an attachment to members of your peer editing group and to me, and that's going to be your rough draft. And your attachment, as with everything else, should be a Word document. If it's not sent that way, it's not going to receive credit, period. And rough drafts that are received after the due date won't be accepted, and peer editing group members are not going to be responsible for editing late drafts. So if you turn in something late, your peer editing group does not have to help you with it. They can if they want to, but I won't hold it to them. And also you have to make sure that you actually send me the emails I need to see everything that's going on. So I need to see when you send your rough drafts, make sure that I get those too. And if you do, then I'll be able to offer you some comments and things as well. If I don't get a copy of your rough draft, I'm going to just assume that it wasn't completed and you're not going to get credit for it. And that's just, it's just an easy, simple thing. Just make sure that I'm on the email and that all of your group members are on the email. Okay, then you're going to have essentially 2 full days to do some peer reviews. And what that means is you're going to look at the rough drafts of your peer editing group, and you're going to use the comment tool in Microsoft Word and make changes and comments to the drafts. If you need help with that, please let me know. I'm happy to give you some pointers or show you how these things work. Once you've made good, helpful comments using Microsoft Word, maybe helped with some grammatical things and typos, then what I'd like for you to do is write a short, just about a paragraph response for each of your group members, summarizing comments and suggestions. And you can just do that in the body of an email, or you can do it, at the end of the rough draft itself. But you want to email that rough draft with comments and your response to the writer to the writer and to me. So, just like with the rough drafts, if I'm not included in the email, I'm not going to know that you did the work. So make sure that I get all of that stuff. Make sure that I'm kept in the loop. Okay, and the final draft will be due, like I said already, on July the 9th. It's got to be turned in on time before 11:59 p.m. as a Word document. If it's not turned in correctly, it's late until it is. And for every day that something's late, you're losing 3 points, which is pretty significant considering that this is worth 20. Okay, if you look at the grading scale, the format is going to be worth 1 point. And that's just really a matter of following directions. So I'm looking for Times New Roman 12-point font, 1-inch margins, MLA style headers. Everything should be double spaced. You should have a creative title. Your pages should be numbered with your last name in the header. Parenthetical documentation whenever you're using quotes and referencing text, and then of course having that works cited page. Now your actual argument, that's going to be worth 6 points. So, is it a good, strong argument? And did you clearly and correctly analyze this text? And did you really use gender criticism? Did you understand that application? Okay, and then your essay should also be focused and should follow that good, strong thesis statement. Your use of details is going to be worth 5 points, so almost as much as the argument itself. And that's just, are you supporting everything that you're saying? Are you giving good details? And are you explaining those details and how they support your thesis statement? Style is 3 points. That's just, is it well written? Is it organized? Is it interesting? Is it in an academic tone? You shouldn't be speaking in colloquial terms like you would talk to your best friend. This should be very professional, but it should still be, unique. I should be able to tell who the writer is. And then, of course, have a strong introduction and conclusion. Grammar goes without saying, and that's worth 3 points. Go to the Writing Center or email your stuff to the UNCW Writing Center. They're going to be very helpful to you. And then process, which is, the peer editing group, the rough drafts, all of that is worth 2 points. And this is not only effort, but it's also, are you giving good, constructive, and tactful criticism to your classmates? If you're being mean to your classmates, then you're losing points here, and we'll also have to have a discussion about that. Hopefully that's not going to happen here. Hopefully, everyone's going to just want to be really helpful to each other, want everyone to do really well, and that's what I'm looking for. And then also with the process grade, I'm going to want to see progress from your rough draft to your final draft. So when I'm looking at your final draft, I'm going to be looking for the changes that you made from the rough draft. Okay, so that's the assignment. I hope that you can have a good time with it, do something really creative, and of course, as always, if you have any questions about anything, please do let me know, and I'm happy to help you.